Happy day, friends. The topic for this conversation is the Spirit of God is walking with you. Okay? The Spirit of God is walking with you. So take a moment, close your eyes, and notice how that feels when you hear those words. The Spirit of God is walking with you. The Spirit of God is walking with you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. The Spirit of God is walking with you. So go ahead and open your eyes and just allow yourself to be present for this conversation. Allow yourself to be open. Allow yourself to be available to receive what it is that the Spirit of God may have for you to receive, okay? The Spirit of God is walking with you. And so the first thing that I will say that's coming through, and it came through right before right before I started recording, and I was like, whoa, that could really make a difference when I felt it and when I heard it. And so I was just repeating over, the Spirit of God is walking with you. And then I was hearing, the Spirit of God isn't just walking with you. The Spirit of God isn't just walking with you. The Spirit of God isn't just walking beside you, hand in hand. The Spirit of God is dwelling within you, walking around this earth as you. Okay? The Spirit of God is walking around, walking about this earth, walking about this planet as you. And the thing that came through that I heard is that what I heard is that if the Spirit of God is walking about this earth as you, that means the Spirit of God is walking where you walk. Okay? And I know that that's different from what we typically hear, right? Typically we hear, where the Spirit of God leads me, I will follow. Okay? And yes, but, okay? Yes, but where the Spirit of God leads me, where my spirit leads me, I will follow. Yes, but, okay? And here's the but. The but is that until you surrender, until you decide to surrender totally and completely to the guidance of your spirit, the Spirit of God, the essence of God that is dwelling within you, until you intentionally make the decision to decide to surrender to the guidance of Spirit, you will continue walking in the patterns that you've been walking in. And it will continue to appear as if the Spirit of God is not walking with you. It will continue to appear as if God is not walking with you. But God is walking with you. God is walking around as you. Okay? I'm pretty sure it's Ram Dass that said, God is all of us just walking around in drag, right? You and me are just God walking around in drag. Okay, so the Spirit of God is walking with you. The Spirit of God is walking about this earth, walking about throughout this life as you. But, yes, okay, But there's a question coming through, and the question is, are you aware that the Spirit of God, that you are an image of God that is walking about this earth, this planet? Okay, it's the Spirit of God that is sustaining you, okay? It's the Spirit of God that is sustaining you, that is helping you, assisting you in the process of propelling forward out of the darkness that you have found yourself in at times, okay? We can go to Psalms 23, and we know in that there, and maybe you don't, but there's a verse in that, okay, that says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. Okay, even though, and here's the thing, when you understand that the Spirit of God is walking with you, when you go to that verse, even though I walk through the valley, okay, you are walking through the valley. You are not stuck in the valley. And a lot of times people tend to go into the valley and get caught up in complaining, okay? Get caught up in judging their lives and the situation instead of just allowing it to be what it is for that particular moment in time. Okay, and so then it seems like because of the complaining, because of the judging, because of the questioning, because of the lack of faith, it can seem like you're stuck in that valley. You're not stuck in that valley. You're just walking through it. And when you surrender to the Spirit of that, to the Spirit, to the essence of who you are, when you surrender to the essence of who you are, when you allow the essence of who you are to guide you, you can walk through the valley without faltering in your faith. You can walk through the valley without allowing doubt and fear to control you. Okay? So, something else that came through, because when you understand that the Spirit of God is walking with you, you understand what it is that's sustaining you in your life, right? And so something that came through whenever I first started meditating over this, I was at first I was hearing my mind say, the Spirit of God wants you to allow it to sustain you. And then God was like, I don't need your permission to sustain you. The Spirit of God has always been sustaining you. You have just been distracted from seeing that the Spirit of God, that God, the essence of who you are, is sustaining you. Okay? And so what I wrote in my notes is that the Spirit of God doesn't need your permission to sustain you. Okay? What the Spirit of God wants is for you to lean into the possibility that you don't have to do this alone, that you aren't doing this alone, that there's a power that lives within you, that is surrounding you, that is assisting you, that is sustaining you in your life, that is sustaining all of the earth. Okay? The Spirit of God doesn't need your permission to sustain you. The Spirit of God has always been sustaining you. What the Spirit of God wants is for you to lean into the possibility that you don't have to do this alone, that you aren't doing this alone, that you aren't sustaining yourself and your life on your own. Again, there is this power, there is this essence that is sustaining you, that is supporting you. And it's important for you to do what you can to lean into that, to ground into that, to allow that to be your reality. Okay, so in order for you to do that, you have to ask yourself, what is the essence of who I am? This power that lives within me, this spirit of God that dwells within me, that is me. What does the essence of who I am embody? What is the essence of who I am embodying? So after you listen to this, and as you're moving throughout the next few days, there are 3 things that you need to embody, that the essence of who you are is embodying, and you will need to make a decision in order for me to surrender to allowing, not even to allowing, but in order for me to surrender to the Spirit of God's guidance. This is what I need to begin to embody. Okay? So the first thing that I heard is that you need to begin to embody stillness, because the essence of who you are is embodying stillness. The essence of who you are is not embodying overthinking. The essence of who you are is not the one that's overthinking. Your character is overthinking. Your character's mind, this mind, our physical mind, which fades, which will die when we pass on, is the overthinker. And in order for me to let go of the overthinking, I would need to begin to embody stillness, because the essence of who you are is embodying stillness. And we want to allow the essence of who we are to be the foundation for our life. So if the essence of who I am is embodying stillness, then stillness is going to be the foundation for my life. Not overthinking, not worrying, not doubt, not fear, stillness. Knowing, inner knowing, faith. And in order for you to begin to embody stillness, you have to begin to integrate a routine into your daily life. Okay, so throughout these next few days, you may sit down, create a plan, write out what your new routine is going to be so that you can connect with this inner stillness, because there is a space within you that knows that all is well. There's a space within you that is allowing peace and stillness to be the foundation. And you, in order for you to connect with that, creating a routine, establishing a routine where you can take out some time to sit still, to be quiet, to observe, to witness, to notice, to listen. Even if it's just even if it's just 5 minutes a day, starting out, you just set your alarm or you set your timer to 5 minutes. You wake up at the same time every day and you say, okay, for 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to just I'm just going to sit still. And I'm going to connect to my breath, and I'm going to breathe intentionally, because my breath is my life force energy. My breath is what sustains this body. My breath is what helps to ground me into the present moment. And it is through your breath that you will begin to really connect with the essence of who you are. So in order for you to embody, in order for you to allow the essence of who you are to be the foundation that you stand on, you need to begin to embody stillness. Because again, the essence of who you are is embodying stillness. And in order to do that, it will be important for you to integrate some type of routine where you give yourself permission to be still, to just connect with yourself. Because this is one way that you will begin to strengthen your relationship to the essence of who you are. Okay, and the next thing that you're going to begin to embody, that the essence of who you are is embodying this sovereignty. Your sovereignty. You're going to begin to embody your sovereignty. Okay? And in order for you to do that, you will need to begin to integrate new thoughts about yourself. New thoughts about yourself. Okay? So right now, you may see yourself in a certain light. And the way that you currently see yourself, or the thoughts that you currently think about yourself, don't really align with the truth, which says that you are a sovereign being. The thoughts that you currently have about yourself don't really align with the truth that says you're a sovereign being, the way that you view yourself, okay? And it's important for you. I think one thing that will help with identifying new thoughts about yourself is doing some reflecting. So you may take some time out over the next few days to also journal, okay? And to ask to something that helps me and that has helped me in the past is on one side of the paper, I'll write down thoughts that I know I've thought about myself that aren't loving, okay? That are not uplifting or empowering thoughts. And I will identify where those thoughts originated from. And then what you can do is, once you identify where those thoughts originated, you can return those thoughts to the sender. You can say to yourself and remind yourself, I didn't have the chance or the opportunity to establish loving, empowering thoughts about myself. Instead, I adopted disempowering thoughts about myself from someone else, from other people. And then you can begin to, once you have this column of these disempowering thoughts, you can begin to write out on the other side, what would be the opposite thought? What would be the more empowering thought? And don't just write out something. Again, what is the first thing that we're embodying? Stillness. So in that moment of stillness, ask your spirit, what is the most uplifting and the most empowering thought that I can think about myself that aligns with the essence of who I am, that is a reflection of the Spirit of God living within me, dwelling within me? And allow your spirit to reveal those thoughts to you, and then write them down. And then repeat them to yourself during your moments of stillness. Affirmations, declarations. Once that thought comes through, once that new and uplifting and empowering thought comes through, you meditate over it. You contemplate over it. You meditate over it. You allow it to sink into your being. Because in order for you to uplift your sovereignty, in order for you to allow your sovereignty to be the guiding force, in order for you to manifest realities that are in alignment with your sovereignty, you will need to begin to integrate new thoughts about yourself, okay? And the last thing that you'll need to embody, which I'll still share it. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it, but I'm going to share it because I think that it's necessary. So the essence of who you are is embodying a rich, pure, unconditional love. Okay? And the essence of who you are, this came through too, and I think this is why I'm sharing it. But the essence of who you are is embodying a sense of authenticity. Okay, and I wrote down after that, the essence of who you are just is. The essence of who you are just is. We live in a world, we live in a society where it is so important. We have been taught that it is so important for us to define ourselves, to call ourselves this, to call ourselves that, to be this, to be that. That is so important in our world. the narrative of our society. It is so important for us to define who we are, to try to be something. But the essence of who you are just is. The essence of who you are is not trying to be anything other. The essence of who you are is not putting forth a lot of effort to be anything other than the essence. And if you can begin to see that and fill into the essence of who you are and allow the essence of who you are to be the foundation that you stand on, you will begin to relax. You will begin to relax. I'm hearing you'll no longer struggle with people pleasing. You'll no longer struggle with trying to live up to a certain set of standards. Because you know and you understand that your soul has a certain set of standards, and those are the only standards that you are to embody, that you are to live up to. And the standards that your soul has, your soul standards, your spirit standards, they're not standards that are rooted in good and bad, right and wrong. And once you allow your spirit to identify to you or to reveal to you what those standards are, you'll understand what that means. So in order for you to begin to embody this love and this authenticity, you'll need to begin to integrate self-appreciation. Something that I always say is that self-appreciation is the root and self-love is the flower. Self-love is not the root. Self-appreciation is the root. And here's why. Here's why self-appreciation is the root. Because we are humans. And there will be times in our lives, there have been times in our lives in the past where we have looked in the mirror and we have not loved ourselves. We didn't love what we saw when we looked in the mirror. We made mistakes. We betrayed other people. We betrayed ourselves. We weren't really where we wanted to be in life. And so when we looked at ourselves, we didn't really love ourselves. And so if you can begin to appreciate who you are at your core, the self-love will blossom naturally. If you can begin to appreciate who you are at your core, then that unconditional love, that pure love, that love that isn't rooted in judgment, you'll become more aware of that love. You'll become more grounded in and rooted in that love. Self-appreciation is the root. Self-love is the flower. The Spirit of God is walking with you. The Spirit of God is walking with you always. Even when you go in that direction and the Spirit of God was calling you to go in that direction, the Spirit of God is still walking with you. Okay? The Spirit of God is going to let you, God is going to let you take as many detours as you need to. But let this be an invitation to you and for you to begin to say, I don't want any more detours. I don't want any more detours. But know that some detours, most detours, are always guiding you back to where you need to be. Okay? The Spirit of God is walking with you. If you have any thoughts, Any comments, any revelations, any reflections that you would like to share, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Okay, make sure you leave them in the comment section. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. I always say, if you are showing up, if you are doing the work in your life to heal, to evolve, to grow, to be who you truly are, thank you, because it is because you are doing that work that the world is changing, that the world is evolving, that the world is becoming more aware. Okay? Your neighbor, who may not necessarily be intentionally doing the work right now, is benefiting from you showing up, doing the work. So thank you for being here. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I want to invite you to do that. All right? I love you all so much. I'll see you next time.